Hello, my name is Ed Stevens. I work with Electrical District 3. I'm the metering supervisor there, and I wanted to talk to you today about your breaker panel. We get lots of calls to come out to houses for customers that have partial power or they lose total power in their house. Chances are, many times when we come out, it's a trip circuit breaker. So I wanted to show you today what a standard breaker panel looks like here in Maricopa. This is a standard 200 amp panel. You'll see the top breaker here is your main breaker. This controls everything in the house. If you turn this off, it'll shut the whole house off. Underneath that, you have a bunch of breakers that control different things. You'll see usually most of them are labeled that will show you what they control. You'll see this bigger breaker. This is a 2-pole breaker. These are for your bigger loads. As you can see, this is air conditioning, the range, and this one actually that it's not labeled is for a spa. You'll also see that we have these breakers here that have a test switch on them. So we're going to be able to show you what a tripped breaker looks like. When you're looking at these breakers, if they all point towards each other, this is your on position. So you can initially, when you're checking for a tripped breaker, you can kind of push them all in and make sure they're on. Now, with the tripped breaker, sometimes they appear like they're in the on position. So if you feel it a little bit loose right there, it may be a tripped breaker. So I'm going to show you on this switch right here, on this breaker, I'm going to hit the test switch, and what it's going to do is it's going to show that breaker in a tripped position. In a tripped breaker, usually the breaker will be halfway back. So I just tripped this breaker and it killed the power to the master bedroom of the house. And you can see the breaker is in the middle position. If I take this breaker and I just turn it on, it appears like it's in the on position, but the power is still not on in the house. You see that breaker super loose. So the correct way to reset a tripped breaker is to turn it all the way off until it clicks. Once it's off and it clicks, then you turn that on and it'll restore power to that area. Now, if you do that and the breaker does not hold, chances are you have something in that area that is causing that tripped breaker. I would suggest go into that room and unplug everything from the room and reset the breaker and see if it holds. If it still does not hold, I would call an electrician to come look at your house and see why that circuit breaker is not holding. So in closing, if you've tried all your breakers, resetting all your breakers, and you continue to have no power, please feel free to contact Electrical District 3 and report your power outage.